Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kokodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, doing work of truth, sincerity. Let me play this.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Okay. Disclaimer, copyright disclaimer claim. I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna get a few scriptures and get right on into it.
Mother of the boy I packed that extra lunch for saw me outside today and told me to stay away from her son. So y'all, the mother of the little boy I packed that extra lunch for confronted me outside of my apartment, and apparently somebody already told her what her son had said, right? I'm sitting on the patio. She walks past, looks at me and goes, "Are you the man my son keep talking about, or was talking to?" I said, "No, your son was talking to my son." And she says, "Well, don't be talking to my child about what happens in the house. Hold on." I said, "Ma'am, I haven't even asked your child really anything about your house. But I brought up something that I saw in my face. Your son came outside with it looked like a red bruise on his face." She immediately says the cat did it. Y'all just got excuses. I said, "Okay, I'm not accusing you of anything, but in my head I'm thinking your cat got some big ass hands." Then she says, "He already told me what happened. Y'all are making something out of nothing." And I said, "Okay, then let me ask you this. Do you know your son isn't always eating your lunch? You pack him?" She said, well, she stopped, and I said, "Because yesterday my son asked me to pack two lunches, and one for himself and one for your child." And her attitude changed. She said, "Why would you feed my son?" I said, "Because according to him, somebody keeps taking his damn food." Then I asked her, did he tell you who?" She didn't answer. So I said, "Because he told my son that it's his brother." She looked at me and said, "Their brothers mess around with each other a lot." And I said, "Taking somebody else's lunch every day and making them scared to tell anybody isn't just brother messing around." Then she says, "You don't know my family." And I said, "You're right. I don't even want to, honestly. But your son came to the park talking to my son about his problems, and my child cared enough to listen." Then she said something that bothered me more than everything else. "Just tell your son to stay out of my family business." Family business? Ma'am, your child allegedly can't even keep his own lunch. And according to him, he already tried telling you. So I told her, "I'll tell my son to not question your child about anything. But I would not teach my son to ignore the kids ask him for help." She stared at me for a second, then walked away. And now my Monday's conversation with the school is definitely happening, because maybe she thinks this is just family business. But once something follows these children into school, it isn't stand behind somebody's front door anymore.
And hey, this is getting out of hand. Truthfully, you black women, and I say that with meaning and purpose, because a lot of you are filled with darkness and wickedness. Y'all are getting out of hand. Y'all are completely out of control, man. Completely. I listened to this story and I was just like, wow. Wow. And that's pretty much all I could say. And I know it's judgment, man. And it's actually exposing the wickedness of you women, you so-called black women in particular, you know. And this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards the children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates." And yes, just listening to that story let me know that y'all are completely out of control, man. Stay out of family business? Your son is starving. He can't tell you nothing because his brother is stealing his food, and you worried about somebody knowing your business instead of your son starving. Now remember years ago, if I can find a video, I'll do another video on it. Matter of fact, I had seen a short a few days ago. I wish I would have went on ahead and saved that, where it was a girl. She was something like either 12 or 13, looking for this boy who was her friend, and she was going like door to door, somewhere close to where he lived, but she didn't know exactly where he lived. And she knocked on this woman's door saying that she was looking for him, and then and it was the wrong house. She was like, "Why are you looking for him?" "Well, because such and such happened, and I'm real hungry. I haven't ate since this morning." And she started going explaining her story, and of course the lady invited her in to give her something to eat, and that was the end of the video. Rain cam caught it or something like that. And the point is, you women, you black women in particular, because the girl was black, or so-called black. You women are so out of order that the kids ain't been eating for a minute. You know, the kids ain't been eating for a minute because you women want to stay out of order, and y'all want this bullshit to keep going. And when I say this bullshit, I'm talking about America in general. Y'all love this feminism, destroyed families type of bullshit, and you don't want nobody to say nothing, nor do you want to take accountability for it. Because look, even though the so-called black community was doing bad in the early 1900s, well, in the early 1900s, Jake just Jake was doing much better than Esau. So Esau blew up all them homes. But even when Jake was doing bad in the 40s and 50s, Jake was coming back up. Why? Because the family was still in order. And that's why Esau came up with all these schemes and plans to break the family up, like giving women's rights and feminism. And you black women fell for it, to the destruction of our communities, man. You didn't teach our children any legacy, or none of our history, nor did you support the families, just like now. And I keep this screen up because yes, you so-called black women are out of fucking control. And the majority of you don't want to get back in control. That's why you gotta be destroyed. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 25. I apply my heart to know and to search and to seek wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Basically, women's hearts is full of games. That's a woman in general. That's all women in general. But especially you so-called black women right now. That's why, I mean, all of y'all are just copies of yourselves, man. None of y'all are unique and special like that. And you prove it. Because the vast majority of you women are basically the same. Talking about high value man, he got to be making this and that, and you not worried about family or structure. And y'all just out of fucking control. And the Heavenly Father, hey, once this deal go down, a lot of you women are gonna die in the destruction, man. Rightfully so. Y'all need to experience it more than anybody else. How the hell you gonna worry about what you think is family business when your son is just saying he's starving to his friend at school, and then when his friend's dad actually feeds him, that's what you get upset about. Verse 27. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions, many wicked inventions of their own mind or their own doing. But the point is, one among 1,000, man. But out of all of those, no women, man. I always say, look, you don't got no righteous woman. But out of 1,000 men, there's always one. This man is willing to feed his friend's son, and the son the son whom he's willing to feed out of his own groceries. His mother gets upset at him for daring to feed him, because his own son asked him to feed him because his friend is starving. Crazy, man. Crazy. This is Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, and most of that is falling on you women. You women don't got no love, not even for the children that come out from between your feet. You definitely don't got love towards the husband of your bosom. And you don't got no love for your children. I mean, right now, and this is women in general, you, especially you devil bitches, you so-called white women, you Edomites, where this case is going on where this Edomite woman then murdered her children. She murdered her children, and everybody got sympathy for this demon. But well, not everybody, all women, all these women got sympathy for this demon bitch. Not thinking about the three children that she murdered, man. This broad here, this Edomite demon hoe murdered her children, and everybody is worried about, all these women are worried about her. That's diabolical. And back on the so-called black woman, hey, look, the Heavenly Father is going to judge a lot of y'all harshly. This is Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, and now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the street, and that day is coming fast. A majority of you so-called black women will be judged here in America harshly. Y'all gonna die when all hell break loose. And you women in general, y'all ain't gonna have no protection. You other women don't got it anyway. Y'all don't got it anyway. We expect y'all to be the devil, and with y'all defending this demonic Edomite hoe that murdered her children. Hey, America is finished, man. And Esau, your rule can't end quick enough. But that's it. I'm gonna end it there. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, doing the work of truth and sincerity. Till the next time, Shalom.